me okay? Do you hear me all right? Send me something to tell me that you can hear me clearly. I'm hoping that you do. Hello, hello, hello. You know what? This is the third Facebook Live I've done, and I've never introduced myself. So I am Katrina, and I am here, and I'm also part of, I've created Beautifully Seasoned, and that is for women that's over 50, and it's just basically talking about some of the challenges and things that we're going through. But I decided to be a little courageous and do this Facebook Live, and I wanted to. We're gonna dig a little bit into this dating thing, and how is it out there? And as I heard before, in these streets, as far as dating. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about that. But again, my name is Katrina, and welcome. Good evening. I hope that you had a wonderful day. Actually, my day was pretty stressful. I hate to be real, but it was. But that's okay. You know, some days are like that. And I'm hoping that at least you had a pretty good day, or at least right now you're getting a chance to kind of just I guess just to sit back, relax, get you some tea, get you something to drink, take your shoes off, let your the toes wiggle your toes a little bit, and just get really relaxed. And I'm so glad my friend Tina's here. I'm hoping that we get some more people so we can talk about dating after 40. Dating after 40. And so I've done some research as well. And because I'm gonna be honest with you, this whole dating thing is very new to me, and so and why am I talking about it? Because it's a hot topic. It's hot. It's hot because you have so many people who are dating now, and so many people are trying to find true love. And what does that really mean? You know, what does that mean? Finding that true love, and how do we go about finding that true love? And so I just want to come to you with some information that I've gotten and that I've collected. And then also, we're going to put a spiritual spin on it, like I always do, because we know that God is first and foremost in our lives. And so I'm hoping that you will stick around, and just come on board, and let's talk about this, and let's get down to it. Let's get down. Let's get down, okay? So once again, they telling me that they're giving me like a warning indication on my screen, but I have no idea how to do that, and I'm thinking I'll probably be cut off. So I'm hoping that I don't lag on you. If I do, please hang in there with me. I just probably need somebody to kind of help me with it, and so that I'll know kind of what to do. Okay, but let's move on. Thank you for coming again. And I am going to start by adding to your spiritual garden. And so I kind of do that, because I just feel like scripture to me, it just guides me and it helps guide me along the way in any peaks and valleys that I'm going through. Hi, Bathsheba. How are you? Thanks for coming, dear. And so I want to just add to your spiritual garden before we get on to it, and before we really we gonna soar with this one, because you know what, I've been hearing too many sisters saying what is going on out there, what is happening out there. So let's talk about this. Let's get raw, let's get real. I tried to invite some men. I was trying to get some men, like, okay, we want to hear what you have to say too, because we're gonna talk our piece. We're gonna say what's on our mind. We're gonna put it out there. But I don't know. I don't know about with the men. Like, I think I got a couple that did my survey that I had posted, but I don't know what's kind of going on. And I know all of them ain't married. All of them ain't in relationships. So I don't know. Well, sometimes we don't hear the voices of men when they get that opportunity to really speak up about things that's on their mind. I don't know why it's not like that. So, but either here or there, we're here, ladies, and we're going to try to roll with this, okay? So, first, before I start, I want to add to your spiritual garden. And so I just found a couple of scriptures that I thought kind of resonated with what we were talking about. There's so many, and we know there's so many, but I feel that these probably kind of just take root to what we're talking about, okay? And this is one of them. It says, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And I know that's refreshing. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Sharon. Latoya. I'm calling you Miss Sharon. We ain't at work. Hi, lady. So I'm gonna start with that. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And I really feel that way. I really feel that He will. And that is from Psalms 37:4. I think that if you delight yourself in the Lord, and that means giving Him all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise, that He will give you the desires of your heart. I believe that. I do. Okay? And then here's another one for you. That's Proverbs chapter 31, verses 25. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. And I really, really, really like this scripture because it's strength and dignity are her clothing. And you know how we are by our clothing, ladies. We wearing them, we adorning ourselves with them. We making sure we cover, we making sure we're stylish. So let that be strength and let that be dignity. I just think that just goes so far. And that's just so more important than all this other stuff. And she laughs at the time to come. Now, that means I'm so relaxed. I can laugh at tomorrow. I know I can deal with it. I know God's got me. We got to involve with that one because, some things that we're being challenged with, and to be able to say, I got this. Tomorrow's okay. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'm going to laugh at the future. I'm going to laugh at what's to come. I have nothing to worry about. And so, yeah, that one, it really stuck with me, and it always has. And then I have another one, and that's from James first chapter of the 5th verse. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given to him. And I'm telling you, the very first thing I believe that we have to remember when we're dating is that wisdom. And that is all the collections of experiences that we've had in the past, whether with past relationships, things we learned along the way, things we learned from other people, and use that in our present time or use that to share with someone. And so, yeah, James 1 and 5, that's powerful. And then also, I have one more, and it says, the man who findeth a wife findeth a treasure, and he receives favor from the Lord. And I think that a lot of men don't embrace that we are the treasure. We are. And I think a lot of women don't embrace that. We don't know that we are the treasure. We're the treasure. So a man that finds a wife, and I believe this is from Proverbs 18:22. The man who finds a wife finds a treasure, and he receives favor from the Lord. And so, you know what? The world is, I don't know. I think that we're not thought about as treasures that much. I wish I had a man on here that could tell us, to give us what's going on. But you know what reality is? A lot of us are not walking in that strength and dignity either. And so as a woman, I'm going to have to say that. But then on the other hand, I'm a little biased. Because most of the women that I do know, they are very upstanding, wonderful, beautiful, amazing women. And so I'm not really around the women who are doing the other stuff. So yeah, I don't know, but that he will receive favor from the Lord, and so yeah, that's one to keep. So that is a couple of scriptures for your spiritual garden as we move on and as we are talking about dating. Look, I have been doing a lot of research with this, and mainly because I am very new to dating. And so this is a whole new journey for me, and I have to get with the program. I'm not really with the program yet. So I'm gonna have to get with the program. And the program is things have changed. They've changed, and I don't know if I see. Okay, so let me go on. I'm just gonna start off right now by saying what dating is. Now, I did listen to Pastor Darius Daniels, and he's been doing some sermons on relationships. And then also, I've been collecting like little. I write my little notes, like my little notes in my book, and I've been writing little notes, that things that I've heard here and there. That was like, okay, that's a blessing. I like that. Oh, okay, I can learn from this. So that's what I usually write in my journal. And so this was brought up that I thought was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. And that is the purpose of dating is to gather information. The purpose of dating is to gather information. So you're going out with that person has approached you and you're going out, you're gathering information about them and they're gathering information about you. And so that to me is a good way of looking at this. That means that I can't really jump to conclusions after that first date. I could say, hey, he's all right. He's cool. Oh, yeah, I really like him. But I have to take my time when I'm gathering this information. I have to take my time. And so, hey, Bridget. Hey. Glad to see you, dear. Yeah, so I have to really take my time because I'm going to gather information. I'm doing research. I'm doing research because we know the reality is when you meet someone, we all put our best foot forward. Oh, we just perfect. We perfect in everything. Okay? So it takes time to find someone or for that person to find you. And I'm going to say this right now, ladies. And you know what? If it's any men out here, please tell me. But I'm not looking for anyone. I'm not looking for a man. I'm not. And I know I hear that a lot from some women. Girl, I gotta go out and find me a man. Girl, I'm gonna go get me a man. Ooh, girl, I need me a man. I'm not doing that. And maybe I'm stuck in the old ways, but I don't go looking for men. I don't do that. And I don't think that that is our role as women to go look for a man. A man who finds us a wife finds us a good thing. He finds us you. And so I guess you could be in certain places if he finds you. I could be in a social gathering, and that could, it could happen there. I don't know. I would have to put myself out there, and I know I need to because I'm doing all this other stuff, and I'm kind of not thinking about it. But I'm not doing that. I just feel like I don't know how to explain that. They say, girl, I gotta go out and find me a man. It just seems no. And it's not being arrogant or anything like that. But I don't see myself going out looking for a man. I don't do that. I just don't feel that's natural for me. Does it mean that I won't, if I'm in a social gathering and somebody comes to, yeah, we could talk, but I'm not in pursuit. Let's just say that. I'm not in pursuit of a man. Now, I've been through two bad men. Not bad, but that didn't work out. And I am very adamant, I'm very conscious and intentional right now of how I'm moving forward with my life. And I think that's where wisdom comes in. I think when you've been, I guess you could say burned, and that just came up to my mind, mishandled. I think that's what it is, mishandled. And let's be real, maybe betrayed in some ways, that you look at things in a different perspective. And so let's look at this differently, ladies. And if I had some men on here, I'd love to hear from you, of how we're going to pursue with this dating. How we're going to do it so that it can be done respectfully. And you know what? It's just the waiting. It's just the waiting. And it takes so much time, because it's like, look, I want somebody right. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want somebody in their life right now? Who was it? Who doesn't? I want to feel somebody's toes under the cover with me too. You want it, a man. I want a man. Okay, and that's just the natural a natural feeling, a natural a desire is to have that significant other in your life. So that's just something natural. But I think we need to do things in order. And I think for women, some of us, I think we take it to another level. So being a woman, I got taught from a woman point of view. So if I have some men on, I hope you come on the board. I think sometimes, and tell me if I'm wrong, that we get desperate. And this is before I really go on to my things. I have to get that out there. And I think that it's almost like I can't take it anymore. I just gotta go out and I'm just gonna do whatever I need to do. And I am going to, I'm just going, I want to be seen. I want them to see me. And I just think that's a part of desperation. It shows that we're desperate. And I think for men, we've gotten to that point is that they don't even try anymore. They don't have to. They just kind of sit back and they wait for us to come to them. And like I said, I'm kind of new to the dating. I am new to dating. And so you got women paying for first dates. And I don't know. I just got to get my man wrapped up. Your first date, if he asks you out, why you paying? Or I don't know. Maybe you know what? I just think that I'm old fashioned. And maybe I'm kind of traditional in a lot of ways. And maybe I need to open up. Maybe I need to explore this. But I think that men are natural pursuers, they're natural hunters. And I think if we take that away from them, that it's not going to be anything left for them to do. And I think for now, men are it's nothing for them to do. They will come up. I had a friend. She was like, this guy was saying, yeah, you gonna buy me dinner? He's saying that to her. You gonna buy me dinner? When you gonna buy me dinner? And this is an initial approach, you know. So I think that we have maybe this is part of our fault, and I think out of desperation, and that desperation isn't something to be. We're not gonna say it's anything that's against women because we all want love. Everybody wants love, and I think that's the bottom line. We all want to be loved. We all want to be loved. And look, we are loved by our family, but man and woman love is nothing like that. It's nothing like that intimacy of a man and woman. That's something really special. And so some women is like, hey, I want to go out there and just give it. Just I want to be proactive in this. And I think with that proactivity, I just feel a little uncomfortable with that personally. If anybody have any comments about that, please share. Um, I don't know. I think once I get to know you, yeah, of course, we get to know each other. I'm like, oh, I got it this time. I got dinner. But I'm just talking about initially when you first starting to date someone or you first starting to um, get to know someone. I just think that a woman shouldn't really lead in that area. I just don't. And I don't know. Maybe I have to just get used to this new thing. So I think for the first thing that we have to do is that desperate mindset because I think what that does is shows a lack of self esteem of ourselves and that we have to go over and beyond and we have to pursue and we have to be aggressive, to the man so that he can give us back that. He can confirm us in some way. I think we need to allow him to express how much he likes you. And then of course you're gonna say that back and forth. You're gonna confirm for him. Yeah, I'm checking you out, baby. Yep. I like you too, and I want to get to know you. And that's what we're gonna gather this information about each other. We're gonna gather this information, okay? But right now we're gonna be courting. Remember that? I don't even think people court it anymore. I don't. I think that it's like I had a personal trainer, and he told me I'm working out and everything. And he said, "Yeah, I went on a date with this woman, and she was nice. We had dinner and everything." And he was like, "You know what? I kind of liked her. I thought she was kind of good. He was like confiding that to me. I was like, okay, I'm listening, okay." And so he's like, "I'm kind of fine." He said, and then he said at the end of the date, she said, "Well, won't you come over to my place?" And he said he wasn't even going to ask her for sex. He said he wasn't going to. He said, I kind of like her. So he was like thinking, okay, I'll probably ask her out again on a date. And, maybe I can kind of get to know her. But he said she took him to her place. He went along. And then they end up having sex. But he said if that wasn't his intention. He said his intention wasn't to do that. He said his intention was just to take her out. So I don't know. I know. I think I'm jumping around a little bit because I think with some of the younger women today, it's like a liberating thing for them. It's like, okay, I want, I'm I want to fulfill my sexual urges, and so I feel sexually liberated, maybe. And maybe she felt like, oh, he's nice looking. He bought me this dinner, and so I'm gonna. And needless to say, they did not work out. So that ended up being like a casual relationship. They ended up being just, we just slept together, you know. But when he told me that, I was like, wow. He's like, look, I'm telling you, I wasn't trying to sleep with her the first date. I didn't ask her for sex the first date. I didn't. I was like, well, you don't have to prove nothing to me, But I think he was saying that as a form of respect. But he was saying, she asked me to come up and have sex with her. So I don't know if we giving men, and I'm talking to ladies right now, because I don't see any men over here in the comments, okay? But well, are we giving different messages? Like, hey, baby, that's my son. I don't we give it. And look, I'm talking all this stuff. My son listening. Oh my God. But he knows his mama anyway. He already know. So, yeah, I just thought that they gave wrong messages. And in that case, I think that hi, hey, Lenora. How you doing, Lenora? But and thank you, Chris, for getting on. We needed a man at least to get on the comments. Thank you. So, but yeah, so that was like a part to me, not of desperation though. I don't think she was desperate. I think she just had a sex. She was just like, well, I like you, and I'm just gonna have. It was a casual sexual thing, which is to me, that's I'm a God fearing woman. I don't believe in that. I don't believe just going to bed with you. I just think that sex is more important. Sex is more intimate with me, and I think it's not sex for me. It's making love. You agree with me? It's not like, but some people can do both. They think, okay, you have that sexual desire, but I'm looking in your face. I don't even know your last name. I don't know your last name, but I had that lobster. You bought me lobster for dinner. I don't know your last name. I don't even know what you do for a living. I don't know where your family come from. I don't know anything about if any past relationships. I don't know nothing about you as a man. And guess what? You don't know anything about me as a woman. You don't know me. You don't know who I am. But you're going to be intimate with me. I'm going to allow you into my body. And that's how I feel about that. Now, I could be wrong. You let me know. You let me know how you feel about that. But I do take it that seriously. I do. I just think I remember hearing a sermon about when Juanita Bynum, and she was saying that when you do sleep with someone, you're taking in their spirit. She referred to it like that. I don't know if I'm saying that. I don't know, Bridget. Did you ever hear about an old sermon from Juanita Bynum? And it was like, what is it? Sheets? Something about sheets? I remember hearing a sermon a long time ago. Okay, yeah, yeah. It was something about sheets or something, and she was saying, that spirit, that person, you taking them in you. No more sheets. That's it. That's it. And I was like, whoa, whoa. And that's true. It's true. So, but the world has changed now. People are, you're doing the casual thing. It's like, okay, I like it. I like you. You got me dinner. And so some of the women are feeling like, okay, I'm gonna sleep with you. I'm gonna sleep with you. Because and the men expected for the dinner. You bought me dinner because you were supposed to like me. You you bought me dinner. You asked me out on a date because you wanted to. I thought you wanted to just get to know me. If you're gonna get to know me, why are you wanting to sleep with me already? You don't know me. You don't. And I think that's why too. You got a lot of single moms out here. I think a lot, because a lot of times they not wearing protection, and HIV is real. But not only that, I don't know you, and I'm letting you into me. I don't know. Help me with all of this. Help me with all this. I'm just trying to put it together. If they want sex really fast, they probably have sex with others fast. Exactly, Bathsheba. You want it so fast and you expecting it. To me, it's so disrespectful. Hey, Elisa. You want it so fast. That means you used to that. You used to going around and sleeping. You know what? Oh, okay. Let's keep moving here. I gotta keep moving. And you know what? I'm gonna say this too as a proclaimer. I am not being judgmental. I'm telling you my opinion on what I feel. And like I said, I might be a little traditional, maybe a little old fashioned. Maybe I am, but I just can't just wrapping my head around all of this. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be really judgmental. I'm not trying to be, but this is from a woman's or my point of view. So if you have something you want to share, please do. Um, so we know dating is information. I need to know more about you. That's going to be more than one date. Ladies, that's going to be more than one date. Did he call when he said he was going to call? How's he treating you? What are you all talking about? And it's just so much more that you can learn from someone. It could be, shoot, the 3 or 4 months you still getting to know that person. Yeah, you're gonna be sexually attractive. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna be sexually attractive. But am I jumping on that? Because you know what? I'm bringing wisdom to the table now. I'm bringing wisdom now. I've been there and done that. I made some mistakes. I got some stitches going on inside that heart. My heart is stitched. You don't see those stitches, right? We don't see them stitches of heartbreak. We don't see them stitches of things that happened in the past. So we have to be very intentional. It's almost like we have to learn from our mistakes and bring that wisdom to the table, and then just say, okay, I'm going to go forth doing this the way God wants you. You know what? I don't care what nobody say. You got to go the right way through God, or else you're going to be jumping from bed to bed to bed. And you know what? I'm going to tell you this, and I know someone, and I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to say who he is, but he was like, I wish I would. He said some of the women I was with, he said they were nice. He said I was just sleeping around. He said I'm just sleeping around. He said I done broke so many people's hearts. He said it wasn't even nothing wrong with them. They were nice women. And he said now I'm at the point is that I wish I had gotten married. I wish I had settled down. But I was just going woman to woman, just jumping in bed. Just jumping in the bed. Oh, you look good. Now I'm tired of you. Now I'm going to go over here because she look good. Now I'm going to sleep with her. Ooh, I'm tired of you. Now she looked bad. I'm gonna go over there and sleep with you. Now I'm tired of you. And so he said that's kind of like how his life been going. And he wished that he had settled down. And now he's at this time in his life that he wish he had someone just to be with, just to have that just intimate, emotionally closeness and connection with. And so he said he let so many years go by. And I told him, I said, it's not too late. You know, you could still do that, but I don't think he has any children. No, I don't think he has any children either. He was out there just doing his thing. One after another. He said there wasn't even nothing wrong with them. They were nice women. And I was just jumping on them and tossing them away when I got tired. On some occasions, with sometimes lust is mistaken for love. Yes, yes, Tina. Yeah. But Tina, we're beautifully seasoned. So we have to know you look good, brother. But I can't I got to I have to know better now. I have to know better that you're gonna bring more to the table than your looks and your sexiness. You gotta bring more. You're gonna bring more to the table to that. And I'm hoping that you want me to bring more to the table. I have to say this. I'm all off track because I got notes here. But I was looking at this I forgot this guy's name. He talks financial. But he had this round table. Well, they were on that table, but it was these men. And so the men were sitting around, and so they started talking about men things, right? So they said, what are the two things? I think the two things that they want in a woman. And so it was one guy there. He was a little older guy. I think he was like maybe 50 or 60, around our age, right? And the other guys looked like they were like in their 30s, maybe early 40s. They seemed like they were like that. I thought I was going to pass out. Let me tell you. And see, maybe, please tell me if I'm old fashioned. Where's the men at? I want to know if I'm old fashioned or not. But I was a little, I don't know. Okay. So, okay, let me just tell you what they were saying. This part of the round table, they were asking, what do you want in a woman? So they was like, she got to be attractive. Okay, I get that men are visual creatures. And you know what? We want attractive too. I think men forget that. We want attractive too. We want attractive too. But guess what? She got to be sexually active. She has to be wanting sex a lot. She has to want sex a lot. That's what they two requirements. That's the top two. So I guess our whole the way that we see relationships are different, and that's why I wanted men on here because I guess we see they say attractive in sex, attractive in sex, and it was about let's see, it was one, two, three, four, five. It might have been six of them. Attractive young men. One guy said, "Yeah, my girl, we do it every day." My girl. Do you get what I'm saying? My girl. What am I saying, ladies? She said, oh, he said, yeah, oh, yeah, we do it every day. And then he was the same one that said, oh, yeah, all men cheat. He said, yeah, yeah, all men cheat. That's what he said. But him and his girl, they do it every day. So that's what he wanted. That's his requirements. You know what? So I don't know. Am I the only one that think that's so shallow? I think all of women we love sex too, or making love. We like that too. But man, to have that's all you want for me to be beautiful and to have sex with you a lot. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, ladies? And men, if you are on, because I can't see who's viewing and not on the comments, because I don't want to touch anything. It's already saying that Is something going on? My rate is too low or something. I know if I touch something, I'm going to get cut off. So I might be lagging. I hope not. But that was real for them. And so that's what's out there. And so that's the opinion that's out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm about to sexually. I'm very sexually active in my relationship, in my marriage. Yeah, but just to see a man say that, just to hear that, attractive and have sex. So my intelligence, that doesn't mean too much, right? My intelligence, honesty, trustworthiness, right? Um, my purpose, am I ambitious? That doesn't really mean anything, you know. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's just an isolated group there, or if that's overall with men. That I know that they're sexual creatures, but listen to this, and you know what? I'm gonna put it out there because it's my Facebook Live. I think a lot of men do want that, but are you really wanting? Are you really um someone that she wants to pursue? And can I get real? I'm gonna get real. And where the men at in the comments? A lot of women haven't even had orgasms. I don't know the rate, but there's a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. It's almost like you want so much. A lot of women don't even. It's some women that don't experience it. And I know a lot of men say, "Well, I got mad. She get hers. I got my own. You get your own." I've heard that before too. A lot of women don't even have orgasms. But how are you romancing and how are you making love to her that will make her want to be with you? You know, and a lot of women still do that, and guess what? You still cheat. So, like I said, I'm just going on the women that I hear, the things that I hear, and so that's what I'm going on. So, when I saw that round table, I was like, I don't know. Just a lot of women don't have orgasms. Where's that at? Oh, then it won't be their fault. It will be her fault then, you know. Or really, women, we need to be romance. We need to be. It's almost the same as being submissive. We're submissive when you show leadership. When you show leadership, somebody please put it in the comments. Please, please put it in the comments. When a woman doesn't mind being submissive if the man is a leader. If you're a leader, yeah, I'm with you, baby. Oh, okay, I know he gonna take care of that. I'm with you. But a lot of women have to step it up, and do some things. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. But it could go the other way around too, men. If it's any men on that, women, we got a lot of work to do in ourselves too. We have a lot of baggage that we're carrying. Got to be the leader if I'm going to submit. Absolutely, Bridget. And we were talking about communication. You got to talk to me. We got to be able to talk, right? We got to be able to talk. You're going to be a leader. Take the lead. And that's what I'm saying. Part of that isn't me buying that first dinner or asking you out. I'm sorry. I just see things that's let me get to know you, and then I got it this time, baby. But to be the starting it off, and you're the man. Start it off. You're the man. You're the man. So I don't know. It's hard. As they say, it's hard out there in them streets. But you know what? I'm not in the streets because I'm not looking. He's gonna have to find me. He's gonna have to find me. And then we gonna talk and talk to each other. So I ain't in the streets looking. And I'm hoping that if you are, ladies, I'm hoping that you're doing it in a subtle way and it's not out of way of desperation. Because I see desperation is really giving men a whole different perspective of women. And I think that's when we come up with men saying, when you gonna take me out? When you gonna buy this for me? And then it's almost like you turn into the man role almost, and then for you know it, you kind of locked in, and you the breadwinner, and you the one that's taking care of everything, and it's like you're not working together, and he's kind of sitting back like, oh, she got that. So I don't know. I don't know. I just it's just really weird nowadays, you know. So I wrote down some notes, and these notes are from, um, like I said, I did listen to a Pastor Darius Daniels. He talked about it, and then I've been doing a little research here and there because remember I'm out there dating too. So, and dating is new to me, and so I'm getting used to this whole new thing that I'm trying to figure out what am I going to change and not change. So I could be, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm hard or anything. I just feel like um I don't know. I don't know. I haven't found the word for that yet, you know. I haven't found the word. Okay, so first of all, we've all heard this before. Are you equally yoked? So we've heard that before. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that means just spiritually. It doesn't. Because you know what? I had an experience with this guy at church, one of the most horrible experiences I had in church. So just because you go to church don't doesn't mean that you are the person that's for me, or that is I don't know, ready to be in a relationship. Remember, church is for people. It's like a hospital. It's like a hospital for, you know, us, you getting building yourself up in the Lord, and mending some things. Okay, so I don't think it's about that. Equally yoked mean, how are you coming together as far as emotionally, economically? How are you coming together? What other things I write down here? Family. How is your family? Um, what are those things like in your life, and how are we in alignment with that? How are the ambitions and purpose in alignment? You know, so you got to be equally yoked. It can't be just I'm attractive and I'm gonna have sex with you every day. Oh, okay, Elisa. Okay. All right, dear. I'm just glad you're here. I am. Comment whenever you can. All right. So the equally yoked, you fine. I, you know what? And I'm gonna say this. I just think that we have wisdom, right? Because we said over 40, and I'm way over 40. I'm way over 40. So I can't go with you cute anymore. You just cute. I can't do that. That's not my equally yoked. You fine. He fine. That's not my equally yoked. My equally yoked. Oh, okay. This is the live. You talking about another Zoom meeting? So I can't go on that anymore. That was in my 20s. Oh, girl, he fine. He fine. Oh, I want to date him. Remember, I am. This is wisdom we talking about now. We're bringing a whole lot of experiences to the table. We've been there, done that. So I don't want nobody looking at me like that either. And a man that looks like at me saying, "Oh, she looks good," and then, "Ooh, you know, I just want her to have sex with me." That's all I need from her. No, I just, no, no, and no, and don't forget. if we equally yoked, and not only are you I am attracted to you, but these other qualities that you have, that sex part is not going to be a problem. And I feel like I'm speaking for most women. That's not a problem if we're equally yoked and we're gelling together. Okay, so I don't think that'll be a problem. But that group of men, I wish I could remember this guy's name, and when no guys said that, it's like okay, but they talk about maybe they talk about 20-year-olds. They ain't talking about me. They talking about 20, maybe 20 and 30-year-old women. So yeah, maybe that's it. So to be equally yoked economically, not that you have the same amount of money, but how are you with your money? What do you think about money? How about your ambition level? What do you want in life? What do you want in the next 5 years? What do you want to do? What do you do with your hobbies or self enhancement? How does that play a part? How are you with your family? Do you get along with your family? Are you close with your family? Are you not? What about your past? Um, I think there was in the survey that you all took, it had 55.6% says past relationships, they would want at least bits of information. And then 22.2% said none of my business. 22.2% also said yes, I want to know. So, can somebody put it in the chat? Would you want to know about someone's past experiences? I know I got this off the survey I think most of you took the survey. Would you want to know about the someone's past? Is that part of your collecting data? Is that part of that? What do you think? Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bathsheba. Yeah. And that's if they even tell the truth. That's if they tell the truth. Yes. Okay. At least okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would say, yeah. The truth is a hard. And then let me make the decision whether or not I want to move forward. So you've been in jail. Let me make that decision of whether or not I want to be involved. Let me make that decision. So yeah. But yeah. Um, so the equally yoke is big because I think, and I heard this before, that what are you gonna do when the looks fade? What are you gonna do when the looks fade? You know, what are you gonna do when them challenges come up? And so if you just going on looks and sex, you know, and it remind me, I later on I'm gonna tell you about a story with the sex on the other end as far as the men's concerned. Um, but yeah, are you authentically attracted to the persons? Is your preference personality? And then I also heard this before. Part of who you are is what you are attracted to. Isn't that something? Part of who you are is who you are attracted to. So, yeah, I think that's kind of deep. Part of who you are is who you're attracted to. Um, yeah, think about that. If you are ambitious, you want somebody ambitious. I would think. But sometimes if we're not financially secure, we want somebody who is financially secure to help us through that. And then speaking of that, um, as far as financially, I think somebody had financially secure. 33.3% wanted someone financially secure. And I would say for the most part, 80%, maybe 90% of the survey was filled out by women. 33.3 wanted someone financially secure. Um, and 61% wanted someone God fearing. And 66.7% want someone trustworthy. I was glad to see that, the trustworthy part. That you could be honest with me. And I feel like this. give me a chance to say yes or no. If you don't want to be in a committed relationship, put it out there. But what happens is, I don't want you to go dating someone else, but I want to go dating someone else. So I can keep you right here. I'm going to just say, yeah, I want this committed relationship because I don't want you to go somewhere else. Whereas you're not telling the truth, and you're going and you're dating several people behind that person's back. I just think, I don't know. I think a lot of that is going on, and not only that, I think a lot of men sharing is going on. What do you feel about men sharing? I think a lot of women. I think back in the day, grandma, great great grandma, and you know what? Bless their heart because they did what they need to do to keep the family together. They did what they needed to do. And so some of them women, they was in there, and they knew. They knew Sam was out there, and they knew that he was sleeping around. But they was still there, take care of them kids, and made sure Sam had the mashed potatoes and steak on the table when he got home. But they knew. They knew. And I guess now it's kind of like maybe a little bit more riskier because we have these sexually transmitted diseases. And they are running rapid as far as what I was reading during the COVID shutdown, there was an increase of sexually transmitted diseases. And so it's a lot of that, and a lot of that is being brought home. Those women who know, and you just turn a blind eye to it, and you just say, okay, if I don't see it, just don't let me see it. Don't let me see it, and we good. You just bring the money home, and you pay these bills. But whatever you do when you're not around me, I just don't want to know about it. Sometimes they do know about it when it affects them in their bodies. So I think there is a lot of men sharing out there. It's a lot of women who knew. And back in the day, they knew. And I don't know. I can't have an opinion on that because I don't know. These women made the decision for their families. But that's that whole relationship thing. And I know we're talking about dating, but that's still that whole relationship thing. You know, what do you do? What do you do? That's the decisions that people make, that they feel that um, I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm telling you I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm telling you I'm sorry. But, I don't know. So the men sharing thing is big too. Some women, it's like men gonna do it. I don't know. And so as far as dating is concerned, um, it doesn't really, it takes away from what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be us getting to know each other so that could possibly bloom into a relationship. I don't know. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Everything is, ladies, anybody in the comments, tell me. What don't I know? Tell me. What do you think? What don't I know? Yeah. Okay. So let's move right along. Equally yoked. We talked about that. We want to make sure we're on the same page. We want to make sure that we have these things in common. Whatever it is that you feel that's important, it takes time and it takes courting. What has happened to courting? Dating now is definitely different. Yes, yes, Bridget. What's happened to courting? What's happening? I'm gonna pick you up at 8. I'm gonna take you out to dinner, or you know what? And I'm kind of like a non-traditional woman. Sometimes I like something different than dinner. But dinner is a way that you could talk to each other. You're sitting across from each other, you're talking and you're eating. You know, but courting, I think that's also has changed. But that's a way that you can get to know someone and get that data that you need. It's definitely different in these times. I believe the biggest problem, women have lowered their standards. Absolutely, Lisa. Elisa, yes, we have. And I think that's part of that desperation. I think we just become desperate. And don't get me wrong, everybody wants love. We want love. But now it's like, okay, hey, he alright, but and I know he girl, that man be fooling around, I know. But yeah, hey, come on over. Yup, come on over. It be like that. Yep, come on over. We know that's a booty call, but I don't know. So with the courting, I don't even think they call it now. Is that a term that we don't even use anymore? That you just come and you take me out and we do spend some time together and we talk and we're not talking about sex yet. I don't know if you're the one. I don't know yet because I'm still doing my research and I'm hopefully you doing research on me. Hopefully it's not enough research based on what I wore and I had a sexy outfit on. That's not the research. That's just the outfit. So hopefully you doing research on me. Man, is this the kind of woman I like? Let me see how she talks. Let me see how she feels about this. Let me see what does she like? What doesn't she like? How she feel about the Lord? Let me see what is how she is with her family. Let me see. And then hopefully you're doing the same thing. In order to get courting, you have to have a man that's intentional. Absolutely, Latonia. Absolutely. He has to be intentional. And everything's casual now. Okay, so I'm casual. I'm a go out with you casually. So I'm not intentional. I'm really trying to find a woman in my life. I'm speaking like from a man point of view. Or the woman, I'm really taking time to meet with him so that um, I can discern and see whether or not this is a man that I want in my life. So yeah, you got to be intentional. What is it? Why are we here? And come to find out, somebody said, "Why do you want? What do you want to?" Let's see. I had it written down. This is all the. I will date outside. No, I won't date. Um, 27.5% said have fun. And so if we're dating, oh, I just want to have some fun with, then yeah, let's be honest and say, yeah, I want to have fun. Oh, I just want to have something casual. I want to have fun. But if you want to be in a committed relationship or a marriage, I think that it does evolve and it takes time and you're gonna get to know each other. You're gonna talk and you're gonna find out more and more about each other. Are you gonna ever know everything? No. Even on your wedding day, you're not because people are still things are leaking out. And a lot of times we as women we don't even know what they we don't know what they are. I mean, we know what they are because we see a lot of red flags. But sometimes we hope in things so badly, we kind of overlook the red flags because we know nobody could be 100% for us. No one is 100%. And that's that 80-20. You're going to get that 80 and then it's going to be 20 that's kind of like, nah. But what is the 20? What is the 20? It's the 20 respect? No, that got to be on the 80. the 80 the 80 gotta have the respect in there. For me, for my preference. You know, so that has to be in there. You cooking? Okay, that could be 20. Maybe I can handle that cooking part. Financially secure? Maybe that got to be on the 80 for me. Okay, all right. So and some men they feel the same way. But yeah, equally yoked, definitely. Courting, getting to know each other. Okay, all right. I have another one here. And then we also mentioned that. Oh, Okay, Latonya, it says, I believe we have to change how we look at dating instead of presenting ourselves in a way that we're not trying to chase a man, but just as this a meet and greet to see if it's worth the time to go further. More times than not, you can see where some is after a conversation or two. I agree. I love that comment. I agree. I agree. It's how we instead of presenting, we're not trying to chase. Absolutely not. Many times, more times than not, you can see where someone is at a conversation. Yep, in that conversation. One guy, he told me, "You don't have to like me now. I'm the one that has to like you, and then but you could grow to like me." That's what he told me. That's what he said. I don't know. And I think back to Alicia when she said some women are lowering their standards so that when a man does meet you, he's coming. Some of them, where the men, where the men comments, they're saying some things to you, and you're like, really? I He told me that you don't have to like me now. You can grow to like me. I just have to like you. So, like you said, Latonia, that sometimes through the conversation you can get a feel of where that person is. You could get a feel of what, and that's that courting, that dating. I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna have a good time and talk, and just talk about some things and be real with each other. You know, but definitely not out to chase. Not out to chase. Now I am going to moving right along. Thank you for that comment. Absolutely. Um, what is that? Are your values are in alignment? What are your values? Are your values are in alignment as you're dating this person? And I think we don't have time. I think with this whole dating over 40, I hope you agree, we don't have time to play. In my 20s and 30s, yeah, I might have time to dibble, 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 but that I was married during that time. I don't even remember when I was last single. I was married so long. But now, I think when you get 40s and 50s and 60s, it's like I don't have time to play. And you do have some people who are still kind of playing, and they just out there, just I don't know, with that mentality of just casually. I'm just casually out there. I just want to get out there. Hey, so your royal oats kind of thing. I want to get out there. And don't get me wrong, you got women out there too, girl. I'm just gonna go out there and date everybody. I just got me, girl. I got a man here. He do this for me. Got a man over there. He do this for me. To each his own. But I am doing this the right way. I think I've gotten burnt enough, and I think that I've made some bad decisions in the past that I have no other choice but do it God's way. I have no other choice. I am not playing. That's not the way I'm made up. So, as our values in alignment for dating? Are my values in alignment with yours? What is that? Okay. And you know what? That's not only about a Christian. They could now. What happens is though, if you meet someone and you're and I heard this before and I wrote it down that he's not spiritual and he doesn't have his own personal relationship with God. I'm gonna say it like that. It's not about going to church all the time, even though that's in scripture. You should go to church. You should have that time where you're going to praise the Lord, that time that you're going to be with Him. But it's mostly about your personal relationship with God. And nobody knows that but you. And then also that's reflected in how you move in the world, how you walk, how you do everything in the world, how you treat people. That's all reflective of that. But let's just say he's not in alignment spiritually with you. So he's basically getting blessed through you. And then I wrote this down. It says they will benefit from your spiritual walk. You will get the bill and it will not last. So they're getting blessed up under your umbrella, up under you. And you know what? That's kind of how it is with our family. You know, our family is blessed up under us. You know, if you have that spiritual, you have that strong spiritual walk with God. You know, but it's not gonna last because that moral and values is not there. The values is not there. So we have to be very intentional about when we're dating, and we have to make sure we're in alignment. We only could do that through courting. We got to. So how could you court when that second date I'm sleeping with you? It's over. What he got to do then? He don't have to show you anything. As a matter of fact, sometimes that's it, cause he could conquer it, and I'm gone. I'm gone. Or I'm gonna come back and let's do it again. You know, but that then it's like what I really want want you to know, you don't see it. You're not gonna see it because now we got the sexual relationship going on now, and so all those other things I need to know, they're kind of get pushed away a little bit, and then we that's how it is. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get off equally yoked. I've been on there for too long. Okay, um, you are being attractive for your somebody, not everybody. I wrote that down. So you are attractive not to for your somebody. Your somebody. Your somebody, not everybody. Not everybody is going to feel you attractive. And that's okay, ladies. If you hear me, please. It's for your somebody, not everybody. Everybody, we all have preferences. It's okay. If the man doesn't, he don't think you're attractive. That's okay. It's your somebody. Your somebody is gonna think you're wonderful and amazing, and he's gonna do whatever he needs to do to show you, and you show him that hey, we need to be moving in this together. We okay. We good. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. I think, I'm still excited about just getting to know you. Wow, I'm not jumping. I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be calm. But man, I want to talk to you. I want to know more about you. We're gonna talk. I had it's a guy that I met online, and I'm telling you that was totally out of my character. But a friend of mine, she said, "Well, it's only $16.99 a month. Won't you just try it?" I just thought that was just so unnatural. And so once again, that's me and that I don't know that old fashioned. Maybe I got to get out of that. That's the new thing now. I don't know, but to be going through looking at pictures, and then you got to put the profile. Then you got to be like, send a picture. I don't know. I just got to get my mind wrapped around that. But when I talked to him, all he talked about was himself. So he don't talk about himself. He talked about all the stuff that he had. He talked about all he had this car and this car, and then he talked about what he was doing with his house, and he talked about his, and I hardly got anything to say inside, anything. It was all about him, all about him. That was that. That was that information I gathered. If I would have pursued that, I wouldn't have been really. He didn't see that value to me and me to know more about me. It was all about him. Everything was wrapped around him. And maybe he was trying to impress me. And that could be. But that was a turn off. And even though it seemed like he had all this stuff. Remember that material stuff and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But that was just a turn off. So we know that you are being attractive for your somebody and not everybody. Not everybody. So I don't want to be for everybody. I want that special somebody to be like, baby, you the one. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. I got it all written down here. All right, dating. Emotionally connected. I've been there. Someone who is not emotionally connected could be torture. It could be torturous if someone is not emotionally connected. Looks are important, physical attraction, but can you connect on an emotional level? If he doesn't talk and if she yells at everything, how do you deal with your emotions? I know that that's a problem sometimes with men. And sometimes we want men that we want to just, tell me how you feel. I want to, let's get there. Because, we talk. Women talk, we get emotional, we expressive and everything. But sometimes with men, I don't know. It just seems like sometimes it takes time for them to be able to be emotionally there. And I think women, we need that. And so emotionally connected is you want them to be aligned. Um, okay, I was thinking about seeing what else I had here. But you want them to be emotionally connected. So I should need to be able to talk to you about my feelings, and then you should be able to talk to me about your feelings. It's nothing wrong with a man talking to a woman about her feelings. So yeah, think about that. Economically aligned women, we seek security. Are your values economically aligned? Ladies, are you criticized? Oh, a lot of ladies are criticized for this one. Okay, are you getting the red bottoms instead of paying the electric bill? We have to be economically in alignment. Okay, and how do we spend money? How is that the same? So yeah, that's something that's part of that dating and that courting. That's part of that dating and courting. Okay. Money is not the highest form of value. We know that. Even though we like money, money could buy us things, money could get us places, but the value of, to me, having that personal relationship with God and having that value system. And you had a value system, it seems like you will be able to deal with those challenges in a better way. And it'll be a little bit, I think your relationship will be more solid. Okay. Um, Bottom line, it doesn't matter how fine they are. If the lights are off, you can't see them. And that is, I got that from Pastor Darius Daniels. And I thought that was a good line. Um, no matter how fine they are, when the lights are off, you can't see them. So what is it that they have other than the physical looks? Okay. Um, let's talk about submission. And I know that a lot of times that is something that comes up about women being submissive. And I'm going to give you my opinions on this, and I'm asking the ladies in the comments that when a man has leadership and true leadership, I believe that women can be submissive. They can trust that. They can trust that this person has me. This person is okay. This person will be there and do what they say they're gonna do. And so I can trust that. And so I think submissiveness is not something that women don't want, but I think um, that's that leadership that we're looking for when we're dating, when we're doing that research, when we're gathering information. Okay. You don't have to convince a woman that you are a leader. You model leadership, and she would see that and she would trust that. Okay. Let's see. I also have, now it was something in the comments about um how do men feel about women with children. Anybody want to make a comment about that? How do you feel about women with children? How do you think men feel with women with children? You have a lot of women out there who have children. And so, what does that, you know, do you think that's a turnoff for some men? If it is, a lot of women have children. And so, that's just something you got to just incorporate in with your relationship. And that's just like you coming into almost a ready made family. And so, I think that's something too that you can consider. Um, So let's see. Anybody have any comments about that? Okay. How about online dating? How do you feel about online dating? Have you been online? Have you done online dating? Anybody want to express that online dating? I don't know where the man. Where's our man at? Where's our man? I want to hear from y'all. Oh, you haven't done it yet, Alicia? Okay. Anyone else? Online dating. I told y'all know I'm a nerd. Y'all. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd. You haven't done it yet? Anyone else? Online dating. Online dating. Anybody? Listen, I just think, and I'm trying to do this. I don't know what's going on here. I just don't want to. Okay, there we go. I just want to just say, I just think it's unnatural, but I do know somebody who found their husband online, and someone I know, and he's really a nice guy. So I just thumbing through the men, and then you're trying to talk. I don't know, but this is there, and I think part of the survey, some people would, they were saying that they would do online dating. They would do online dating. I don't have what is the statistics here. Um, oh, I thought I wrote it down, but it was quite a. Oh, okay, 38.9% said that they will do both online and in person for online dating. And so that is a way to find, people are looking for relationships. So that's a way, to kind of get it out there. Like I said, I did try it, and then, men tried to. I know one guy, he was like, look, if you are not serious, because I guess maybe women who were saying, they were interested, and he took them out to dinner, and they just went out for the dinner. So I guess he was making it seem like he was paying a lot of money because he was taking these women out, and then after that, it was nothing. They didn't pursue it anymore. And so he was like, if you're not serious, don't get in touch with me, because I guess he was just going on date after date after date after date, and it wasn't working. And so yeah, and I could feel for him too, because some women could be like, shoot, I'm gonna get taken out for dinner, and not really like the guy, and that's not right either. And so, yeah, but that's something that people are doing now. That's big, the online dating. And so, if you feel like that's something that you want to do, yeah, that could be something that you want to try. You know, I see Alicia say she hasn't done it yet. Anyone else? Anyone else have done the online dating? No one else? All right. Uh, Also, we know about expecting men to pay, and I know that was on the survey. And then, hmm, I know a guy, he put on there. What was his question about sex? He had a question about sex. How do women feel about sex? I think it was like that from the survey. How do women feel about sex? What do you feel? What are your feelings about sex? Anybody on the comments? Anybody want to say, what is it? Is it a priority in your relationship? Is it not a priority? How do you really feel about it? I think sometimes men feel that we don't want it and that we're not, but that's not the case. That's not true. At least I don't think so. So, what do you think? What are your feelings on sex? your feelings on sex? And how soon would you have sex after you meet a guy? How soon would you have sex after you meet a guy and you think, hey, he's kind of nice, I like him? What do you think? What does that look like for you? Okay. I guess I really can't answer that. I mean, it depends. I would consider myself celibate. So I guess I would just have to see. Um, I don't know. I really couldn't answer that. Anyone on the comments? Anyone want to share on the comments? And it's a lot of women who are sexually liberated, so they don't hold any standard. They do what they feel, and so some women are like that. If they want, they just go out and if there's somebody that they like, they will take part with that, and that's how they are. And so and that's like no judgment. That's what they like to do. Um, but I think one of the guys who did the survey did ask about that. And so, yeah, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about sex, period? And sex is fine. Sex is natural. That's a natural feeling. It's like, what do you, how are you going to, when are you going to, when you first meet someone? I think that's to be considered. How safe you're going to be. Okay. So of course it has to be a mutual attraction. So that's important as well. Um, let's see. What else do I have here? Um, the thing about how important is sex in a relationship. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? Okay. Alrighty. Let's move on. All right. And my last one is I think that we're kind of at the end. I think we're at the end. We talked about the online dating. Okay. Um, I don't know if anybody. I know Latonya. I know you have a son. How do you feel? And as far as dating with your son, sometimes that whole thing comes up a little bit about that when you're dating. And then also, I want to tell you some of the survey that we had here. 61.1% said they were single, and 22.2% said they were divorced. 11.1% said they were widowed. And so that is from the survey that we took. And first date places to go to. Dinner was a whopping 66.7% for dinner, and 33.3% was a museum, which I would prefer over dinner. The museum, I think that would be so cool to walk around and you get to talk, and then you get to just kind of see those exhibits and everything. 22.2 also said walk in nature, and so those were the three places that for first dates. And I think, of course, walking in nature will always be nice. And so that was that one. Also, 44.4% said men were expected to pay. Men were expected to pay, and 44.4% they said that it depends on who asks the person first out. And so, yeah, I guess that's only fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, 83.3% said sex is too early on the first date. Okay, too early. 44.4 said yes, they would date outside of the race, which is like, okay, I see. 38.9, I would consider dating outside the race. And 16.7% said no, I want to date I won't date. I will not date outside the race. I think for more women, I think sometimes it takes us a while to date outside the race. We love our men. We love our black men. So I think that sometimes it does take a while for us to even consider to date outside the race. But I think for our men, yeah, they do that a lot. They get out, they go out a lot. So, um, but yeah, that is basically it. I just want to talk a little bit about dating over 40s. It's a lot of things to consider. It's so many new, it's just a whole new world out there. And dating was this whole thing is new to me. So it's a whole new world out there. And it's like, my thing is this: you do what that fits you, whatever fits you, whether it's online dating, whether it's dating person to person. Um, I just suggest, and I have to say this, I have to say this, is that you have a talk with God, you have a spiritual connection with God, and just to make sure that you're being guided to that right person. Because if not, it depends on what you want. You will be going and sleeping with person after person after person. And if we talk about dating over 40, we don't have time to be just dibbing and dabbing. We want to be settled. We want to have someone in our life that we love and we trust, and that we could just build some great memories with. And so keep that in mind too. Um, Also, there's all kinds of things to consider when you're dating, and that's why you're gathering information, you're gathering data. When you're talking to that person, you're seeing if you're emotionally aligned, if you have the same values, what is that person values, and it takes time to do that. So yeah, think about that when you are out dating, and just be careful. I like the way Latonia said a meet and greet, and I've done that before. A little coffee, we could do a coffee on the side. I'm gonna meet you for coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I'll meet you for tea. And so we go sit down and we go talk, and then we go decide from that little meet and greet is if okay, maybe we'll go to a bigger date. And then that way the big date is not out there first, but then you had your nice little tea, or you had your little what donut or whatever, and then y'all got a chance to chit chat a little bit at Starbucks or wherever that is, and then you decided like, okay, let's see how this goes. Maybe we could, continue and go to have another date, and maybe that could be a full date. And so I definitely recommend that. And that's something I've done. And then that saved time where you didn't have to, it won't be so big to start off. And especially if you haven't really known the person. And, you just kind of evaluating. You're collecting data, right? You collecting data. So it's a lot that's going on with that. And I don't know. I just think that everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants, uh, a relationship, a trustworthy relationship, a loving relationship. I think that it takes time. So I think that, you just got to take your time. And sometimes you just have to take time to know the person. But in the meantime, live your life. Walk in your purpose. Have a great time. We only get one life, and we can't stop our life wondering and waiting for someone. We can't do that. We can just ask God. We can make sure that we're out there, and we make sure that we're meeting people. We can do that. But most of all, we want to live, because this minute we can't get it back. The next minute we can't get it back. And so we could be traveling, doing all kinds of things, and just really living in our gifts. And so I suggest that you do that. And then just being very careful and intentional when you're dating, and make it very clear of what you want. Just put it out there. This is what I want. This is who I am. And just make that clear. And yeah, just go from there. And I know if you pray about it, you will be fine. So thank you for joining me today, and I just want to touch on that subject. Thank you for the people who came in the comments. I appreciate you. And like always, before I go, I want to just mention to you about my podcast, which is Beautifully Seasoned. And so you can get it on Spotify if you have Spotify, or go to Anchor FM. And I have a lot of discussions on there, things that was on my mind. And I'll just encourage you to go and check it out. I do also have a book called Standing Inside Myself, A Journey of Self Love, Wisdom, Power, and Purpose. And so I encourage you to get that book. It is on Amazon. So you can support a sister. I also have a website. I gotta update it for February. It's www.beautifullyseasonuYou.com, and it has a lot of articles on there and positive affirmations. If you want to just go ahead and read that. But that is it. And also, I have a Mind Charms app, and the Mind Charms is for girls who are 8 to 12, and that is, you can get that from the Google Store. It's a free app for girls. It's called Mind Charms. Before I leave, I want to say a prayer for you. I got this prayer for Joe Osteen, and I want to share for you. I think it's amazing. I love it. You are blessed, prosperous, redeemed, forgiven, talented, motivated, valuable, free, determined, equipped, empowered, anointed, accepted, and approved. You're not average, and you're not mediocre. You are a child of the Most High God, and you will become all you was created to be. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. I pray that for you. Go pray to God about this dating. Go do what you can. Do it with integrity, and just trust God and live your life like it's golden. Live your life. It's okay. You will be fine. And whatever it needs, whoever needs to be in your life will find you. I promise you. I know that's for sure. Thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you supported this today. I'm hoping you are doing well, girl. And thank you so much. And I hope you got something from it. I'm just doing my research, and I put it in my notes. So I wanted to share. Is there anything that you want to say before we left today? Anything about an experience that you've had before we leave? Oh, okay. Okay. She said, yes, I did. Okay. All right, love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm probably going to be on again. So I'll let you know. But I appreciate your support, okay? Thank you so much. God bless you, dear. Love you. My experience has been, I know, roller coaster. I know. I hear it so much. I hear it so much. But you know what? Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, Alicia. Just take your time and you live your life. You live your life. Love you too. You take care. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening, okay? And get some rest, and hey, live your life like it's golden. Take care, love. Bye bye.